Hi guys, Scratch here. Today we're talking tactical tourniquets. Totally. Well, tourniquets aren't really tactical except for this one, because it's black, and we all know in order for it to be tactical it's got to be black. So maybe this one is, but this one is orange, which is the color of pumpkins and Halloween, so I guess this one isn't tactical, it's more spooky, but spooky is, whatever. Okay, tourniquets. So I'm on a forum called Bushcraft USA, which is awesome by the way, and they're very generous when it comes to a lot of stuff. But there's one guy on there who goes by Medic17, and he offered to let a bunch of people try out a few different style tourniquets to decide which ones they like best. So he sent out 5 different styles of tourniquets, and I thought I'd do a video of my learning experience with them. First off, let me start by saying I'm not medically trained at all. I did take a first aid course a long time ago, and I'm pretty good at putting band-aids on boo-boos, but that's about it. Tourniquets were pretty much a mystery to me before I joined on this pass around, so if you hear me say something wrong or stupid, please let me know in the comments. This really isn't going to be a how to put on a tourniquet video, but more of a here's my uneducated dumb guy opinions on 5 of them. So the first one I got to play with is a SWAT-t tourniquet, which usually comes in a wrapper, but these have all been unwrapped and tested by a few people already. It should be kept in the wrapper until it's needed, since it keeps it clean and protects it from UV exposure. It's made of thin rubber and weighs about 4 ounces. It's pretty simple to use. The directions are even the name of the tourniquet. You SWAT, stretch, wrap, and tuck it around the limb. That's all there is to it. It's a little hard to get started using one-handed, but not impossible, and it does hold very well. It's also a long length of strong rubber, so in an emergency it could be used for other purposes, I suppose. The next one I tried was the TK4L, which was the smallest and lightest at about 1.93 ounces unpacked. I've seen some come with 2 of these hooks, but this one had one of the hooks replaced with this style hook, which made it easier to get the first wrap started actually. I did try it both ways. It's made of elastic band that could also be used as a bandage wrap, I guess. Supposedly there's no expiration date on this one, and they say it's not affected by the heat of a vehicle, but it still should be kept in its original vacuum packaging until needed. To use this one, you wrap it around the limb and then through one of the hooks, then you go back the other way, stretching and wrapping it tighter until the bleeding stops. Then you just tuck the hook under one of the previous wraps to hold it. Next up are a couple of windlass type tourniquets. This first one is the Soft-Wide, or SoftW, which was made for the military and supposedly can handle the extremes and doesn't expire either. It weighed about 3.56 ounces and has an aluminum windlass that you twist and lock to tighten. It has a metal buckle system for adjusting the strap. You wrap the webbing around the limb, clip the buckle together, then pull very tightly on the tail end of the webbing to get it as tight as you can. Then you wind the aluminum windlass until the bleeding stops and lock it into the plastic triangle. It also has a spot on the end of the webbing to write the time it was applied. According to what I found out, tourniquets should be applied for no longer than 111 minutes, 111, or complications can occur. Then there's the Cat. This blue one is a training tourniquet. The non-training one comes in black, but I'm not sure the difference beside the color. This one weighed in at 2.81 ounces and also supposedly doesn't expire. The windlass is made of plastic and has a different locking system than the SoftW does. It also uses Velcro instead of a buckle system for adjusting the strap. It's very similar to the SoftW, but instead of a metal clip, you tighten the webbing by looping it through the plastic buckle, pulling it down and using the Velcro to hold it in place. Then wind the plastic windlass until the bleeding stops, lock it into the windlass clip, and wrap the white Velcro strap over it. You can also write the time that the tourniquet was applied right here. The last one I tried out is the RATS, which stands for Rapid Application Tourniquet System. It's made from vulcanized rubber, covered by a nylon outer core, and has a metal cleat. It weighed in at 2.7 ounces. There's no determined date of expiration, but like all tourniquets, they should be routinely inspected for frays, loss of elasticity, damage from UV exposure, and then replaced if needed. This one is a little more unique to use, but is very simple. Keep a 3-finger loop ready all the time, then wrap it around the limb and pull the tail end through that loop. Then stretch and tighten the rubber around the limb until the bleeding stops, trying to keep the wraps at least 1.5 inches wide for better compression. Then just slide the tail end into that metal clip and it will lock automatically. You do have to be careful not to slide the tail end in all the way, or it can be very difficult to remove. Otherwise, this one is super quick and very easy to use. Well, that's about it. That's a quick rundown on 5 different types of tourniquets coming from a medically untrained goofball like me. They were all very easy to figure out how to use. They all held very tight, and I hope I never need to use one, but I'm glad I know how to. If you want my honest opinion, I prefer the cat first, then the rats, then the TK4L, followed by the SoftW, and lastly the Swat-t, just because it was the hardest to use one-handed for me. But I know that others involved in this pass around have had very different opinions on which ones they like best, so it's great to be able to physically try out all of them and make my own opinions. If you have any experience with tourniquets, tell me which one you use and like best in the comments below. Feel free to follow along in this pass around at bushcraftusa.com. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks again to Medic17 for letting me play around with them. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.